Welcome to the race briefing for this Christmas cracker, which comprises a triathlon, duathlon, aquabike and kids aquathon. This event is brought to you by Canterbury Triathlon, and this video acts as your race briefing. The event is being held in Sumner in Christchurch at the Scarborough Domain by the large clock tower and also Ocean Cafe, which is on the Scarborough end of Sumner Beach. Here you can see a map and also a site map of transition. However, do note that this is slightly different to what we will experience with the new playground that has been built. When you come to park at the event, please park on the Esplanade or other side streets, but please do not park on the bike course. As far as the race site goes, you can see in this image the toilets on the right hand side. There is a cafe, Ocean Cafe. Please do not sit on the wall in front of the cafe, as this impedes the views of the regular patrons. So please, during all morning, do not sit on the wall. The registration area will be over by the clock tower, where there will be a Canterbury Triathlon tent. The medic will also be located in this area if you have any issues during the day. A few general rules that apply to all events. Firstly, this is a non-drafting event, which means you need to endeavour to leave 10 metres between yourself and the rider in front of you. We appreciate this is a tight course and that might not always be practical, but we ask that you do your best in all situations, knowing that if you are drafting, it's essentially cheating. Helmets need to be on your head and strapped up whenever you are touching your bike. That means you need to put them on before you take your bike off the rack, and you need to keep your helmet done up and on your head until your bike is re-racked. When it comes to mounting your bike, you exit out of transition, running and walking your bike towards the mount line. You can get on your bike once you are completely over the mount line. The opposite applies when you're dismounting. You need to be off your bike by the time you reach the dismount line. This course has a number of laps. You are responsible for counting your own laps. The timing for this event is only manual timing. We have one finish time, so there are no splits, which means if you want your individual swim, bike and run times, you need to take them yourself. Please ensure that when you come across the finish line that your number is showing on the front, as this is how we record you at the finish. Your conduct on the course, please keep to the left at all times, as this is a tight course in places. You may only pass on the right. And we have medical personnel on site. They will be located around where the registration area is. There will be an aid station available on the run course only. There is no prize giving with this event. We hand out some random spot prizes. Our focus is on having an old school grassroots event. There is definitely no portable music devices allowed to be worn at any stages during the event. The main rule for the day is you can never cross the centre line on the bike leg of the course. If you do want to find out other more detailed rules, please check the website with the race manual. This event is held at a surf beach, so there is a chance that the swim course may be modified on the day depending on conditions. You can see in the map here, this is the likely course starting from the boat ramp, and then you can see the different arrows for the different colours of the courses. For the sprint triathlon and the aquabike option, you'll be starting on the boat ramp and following the red lines. The first yellow buoy will be situated off to your right. You turn that, keeping it on your left. You turn around a second yellow buoy, and then when you swim towards the third yellow buoy, you'll be keeping that buoy on your right. This is done so you cannot swim directly into the beach and cut the course. For the junior race, you will swim straight out from the boat ramp to the yellow buoy that will be directly in front of you, and for the youth race, you will swim to an orange buoy that will also be in front of you but slightly shorter than the youth race. For more details, visit the website and look at the athlete manual. The swim start will be in around about waist deep water on the boat ramp. You can see in this image here the buoy placements from last year's event. For the duathletes, All of your races will start at the same time as your respective triathlon option and will be starting directly behind the swim start area, so just in behind the boat ramp between two orange cones. You'll then run up to the esplanade, run down to your designated turn spot, and then come back to the clock tower, and you'll enter transition at the same spot that the swimmers are entering in. So you do not go all the way down to the run turn at the Scarborough end of the esplanade. You turn directly right where the swimmers are exiting the swim by the steps. When you leave transition after your first discipline, you'll run or walk your bike out of transition across the road. You may get onto your bike once you pass over the Mount line. The course is then made up of laps around Sumner, including a short trip up part of Evans Pass each lap. You need to know the course yourself, however there will be marshals on the course directing you around. Main things you need to know about the bike course is you under no circumstances can you cross the centre line. You must really work hard to keep left at all times, and you do not come all the way back to transition after each lap. You're coming down Colenso Street and then you'll carry on to do your next lap. The only time you head back to transition where you make a left-hand turn into Head Street is when you are proceeding back to transition. The roads are open to normal traffic at all times, and you need to obey the New Zealand Road Code. So please be sensible out there. We try to do our best to make the course as safe as possible, but you need to be ready to stop and give way at any stage. You are responsible for counting your own laps. The open sprint race and the aquabike is 4 laps of the course. The junior, which is the 13 to 15 year olds plus the novice athletes, are doing 3 laps, and the youth athletes, which is the 9 to 12 year olds, are doing 2 laps. Please be aware if you are in the open race that you will have children entering the course potentially at the tail end of your race. Please be mindful of them, encourage them to keep left if they are not doing so, and please be safe out there. At the end of the bike leg, you dismount your bike by the time you reach the dismount line, as can be shown here. The run is relatively straightforward at this course. You proceed up onto the promenade and then start doing the number of laps you are required to do. When you first enter the promenade, please do not run down the finishing chute. You keep to the right of that and only enter the finish chute when you are completing your race. The run course goes all the way down the promenade. The first turnaround point is just beyond the end of the promenade near Cave Rock. You will then come back running in a clockwise direction to the other end of the esplanade. The second run turn point will be past the finish line, past the cafe, heading back to where you started either your swim or run if you did the duathlon option. You turn around that second turn point, come back towards the finish, and either head out for your second lap or you complete the course by running through the finish line. The novice, juniors and youth athletes are all just doing 1 lap on their run, and if you are doing the sprint, triathlon, duathlon, you are doing 2 laps. If you are doing the aquabike option, after racking your bike you will simply run up to the promenade and run straight into the finishing chute. All athletes, please make sure you are wearing your race number on your front when you come across the finish line, and also during the entire run leg. We need that in order to be able to process your result. The transition will be slightly different to previous years given the new playground that has been built in the domain. The flow will still be the same, and the image you can see here will be roughly how the transition is laid out. You'll come out of the swim or finish your first run if you're doing a duathlon following the blue line, veering around the edge of the transition and entering at the Evans Pass end. The exit to head out on the bike is the red line, so you'll be running out past the toilets and onto Heberdean Ave. Then when you're coming off the bike, you will actually be running through the playground at a separate entry point to where you exited. Park up your bikes, and then you'll be running back out at the beach end of transition, heading up onto the esplanade. It will be a fairly tight transition, and you will need to be fairly well packed in on each bike rack. The bike racks will not be numbered, so essentially it is a free-for-all when you first arrive in the morning. You do need to re-rack your bike after the bike leg at the same position you had it previously. There will, however, be a separate area for the youth race, and also we do request that you keep any bulky items or large bags out of transition area. Our Kids Aquathon event is designed to be a fun, encouraging way for children to enter the sport of triathlon. We don't have a bike because it is not particularly safe to do so on the open roads. The swim will be a 2-lap swim/wade in the sea. The kids will not be out of their depth and will be running around the outside of the lifeguards. They'll have their shoes lined up by the steps where all the other events exited their swim leg. That will be their transition area. They will put their shoes on and then they'll run 2 laps up and down the esplanade to a designated turn spot. So they will run out, come back to where they changed their shoes, run out again, come back to where they changed their shoes, and then turn to run down the finishing chute. It is okay for parents to run with the children, but please keep to the side because it could get busy out there with other athletes completing their races. That's pretty much it for the event. A few final points. Just a reminder, there is no prize giving at this event. We focus on having a no-frills, low-cost, pre-Christmas event. Results will be posted within the day at christmascrackertry.com and emailed out to all participants. Please be aware that the environment at Scarborough is dynamic. The sea conditions could force us to make some changes on the day, so please be patient with us if this happens. Special thanks to Canterbury Triathlon. This event is run through Canterbury Triathlon. Without them, we would not have a sport in the region, so please support them, sign up. You'll get race discounts, you'll get training sessions as well as social occasions, and after this race athletes will be meeting up for a pre-Christmas drink. Thanks for your time and have a great race.